Good morning, guys. How are you doing? All right, let's just make sure everything is going, and it appears that everything is working okay. Live stream is up and rolling. Hey, check in when you get a chance. Let me know who you are, where you're at. Any thoughts, questions, comments that you have on your mind, feel free to do that. My goodness, let's see here. It was a busy day yesterday. It was a good day. I was trying to remember coming out of the weekend. Yeah, there's quite a bit going on. And just to give you kind of an update with what's been happening with me, and I know I've talked about this sporadically. You may or may not have heard, but I like to, with the students I work with, I like to let them know, what's going on. Um, just to be fully transparent, to let you know what's happening. There are ups and downs of voiceover. I've really had the good fortune, and I say good fortune, it's been due to a lot of hard work. Nothing good happens unless you work hard. And that my voiceover business has just, even though it's kind of been like this, it's all, trended up for many, 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 many years. And which is, what you want. You want your business to grow. COVID did a number on me, as it did with many people. And a lot of the production, well, a lot of people just, their businesses didn't last during COVID. And that would be as true for content producers like video production companies as it would be for anyone else. And so a lot of the work that I was getting in either stopped because some of these companies just disappeared, or it slowed down. And of course, I did get there were some projects that I got as a result of COVID, e-learning and such, which was nice there for a while. But COVID, while I still make a very good living, I have not gained back the level I was at pre-COVID. And so, again, it's not affected my lifestyle in any way, shape, or form, which is a whole other conversation. You want to build something that's sustainable and that will stand the test of whatever happens, because that's what happens with businesses and the economy. Things expand, they contract, they expand, they contract. The economy in the U.S. always, even though it does that, it breathes in and out, but it always expands upward, even after it's taken a hit for a couple of years. And I've certainly taken a hit, but thankfully, and this is the takeaway for you on this, is that it went away, but it's coming back slowly. And I built it in such a way and got it to the point that it can withstand a hit. So in any business, you want to be able to, build your cash reserves or build your business in such a way. And I haven't even had to go into my cash reserves. It's not that. It's just that my business, I built it to a place where, you could take away 75% of the business and I'm still going to be fine. I can still pay my bills and I can still do what I need to do. And I didn't lose that much business. But I'm now in a period of regrowth and going back to the roots of marketing and doing the thing that got me to where I was at. So my expectation is that, as the market begins to recover, which it hasn't yet, but that doesn't slow me down. Always, always market. Always, always. When the market's up, market. When the market's down and the economy's down, you're in a recession, market. Always be. Have you noticed that car dealerships and the car brands, whether it's the local dealerships or whether it's the big, like Mercedes or Chevrolet or Ford or what, they don't stop advertising. Even though you drive past a car lot, there's hardly a new car on the lot, but they continue to advertise their new cars. Why? Because they know that the economy is going to recover and move forward. And when it does, they want people to remember them. And so when that happens, you want people to remember you as well. So all is good. I mean, I would love it if the market, the economy didn't go up and down and up and up, but it does. We deal with the realities, not what we want things to be. We deal with what is, and how do we best operate strategically within that. And that is, you are always marketing, you're always building relationships with your clients so that whether the economy is up or down, you've got a core business that remains solid. And I'm still making, plenty of money, but it's not what I was making before COVID. But I'll get back there because, again, Markets go up, markets go down, economies, they breathe in, they breathe out. Right now, it's in a down period, but it's starting to come back, and it will come back up again. So anyhow, thanks for checking in this morning. Man, we've got a lot of folks. Michigan, a couple of Michigans there. Speaking of Michigan, I think I've mentioned to you before, my new favorite coffee, I love Dunkin' Donuts, but my new favorite coffee is Meyer's Michigan Cherry Coffee. Vicky picked up some coffee the other day, which I'm really digging right now, and it's Meyer's Toasted Coconut. And she picked up some K-cups of it, and I just brewed a quick cup before I came on this morning, and it smells heavenly, and it tastes wonderful. And I just drink my coffee black, so I don't put anything to doctor it up. I just love it as is. But their Toasted Coconut is it's absolutely amazing. So my question and maybe I should just have expanded on the topic of markets and the economy. What do you do when things expand, and what do you do when things contract? And maybe we'll talk more about that in depth at another time. But I get asked this question a lot, and I wanted to address it this morning. Should you stand or should you sit when you record a voiceover? The age-old question. The good news is your success does not hinge on the answer to that question. I sit. Why? Because I'm more comfortable sitting. Because I record a lot of stuff. I've my busiest days I may record upwards of 8 to 10 projects. Sometimes there's just pickups and things like that, but nonetheless, it's hours in a seat. And coming from a broadcast background, it's what I'm accustomed to as well. So I do that. Although I have been starting to experience some back pain recently, it kind of comes and goes, and I don't know what the deal is on that. But I think a lot of it's from sitting so long in my studio seat. So I may shift to standing up, but I'll be doing it because of how it makes me feel. The more comfortable I am, the better that I do. Now, you may be more comfortable. You may perform better while standing up. If that's the case, stand up. Well, I think one of the benefits of standing is it allows you to more freely use your body language. And I think body language and movement is important when you're doing voiceover. You can do it while you're sitting, but certainly when you're standing, it gives you a little more freedom of movement. But I would say experiment with the two. Do what you feel is comfortable. There's not a right or a wrong answer. So if you hear somebody say, well, you must stand, you must sit. No, you must not. You do what you're most comfortable doing, because at the end of the day, you've got to be convincing, and you've got to communicate your personality, your point of view, your emotion. And I think the more comfortable you are, the better off you'll be in doing that. Danette says, I'm not a coffee drinker, and it sounds delicious. Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, Denmark in the house. All right. Highlander Grog Coffee for Cindy. All right. Alex says, in the process of locking down my second and third Fiverr jobs right now. Thanks for all your help. Alex, you are you're very welcome. Hopefully you're in Mallory's class right now. And by the way, for those, I haven't mentioned it in a few days, Mallory is teaching a Fiverr class. The website is MalloryFiverrTraining.com, MALLORY, Mallory Fiverr, FIVERR Training.com. Well, week 1 was last week. That session is recorded. It is when you buy the program, you have access on demand to all of these sessions. You go to them live. The second one will be tonight. If you can't be there live, it doesn't matter because it's recorded. But the second one will be tonight, and there's 2 more after this, 4 sessions in total. And then at the end of the session, the recordings are made available to you. So if you you sign up now, you can still go back and watch week 1 at your convenience, and you'll have all the recordings to watch as often as you want and for as long as you want. So indefinitely. Love to have you in the class if you're not. Joe says, get an X chair. They say walk 250 steps for every hour you sit. Wow, Cindy, I'll be doing a lot of walking, which is what I need. And I get it. That's what I need to do. But I'll just be honest with you. I'm not doing 250 steps for every hour. That's for sure. Let's see here. Do you use your 416, meaning my Sennheiser 416 microphone, without the foam guard while you work? Yeah, I just don't need it. If you have good microphone technique, you can get by without pop filters or guards. Do what you're comfortable with, but yeah, it's situated in such a way that yeah, I don't feel the need to cover it. Cecil makes a good point. He says if anybody asks if business is slow, he always says no because he may be busy taking care of orders and new jobs, or he may be busy marketing, but he's always busy, and that is a good point. Absolutely. Oh, here Michael likes Cumberland Farms chocolate raspberry coffee. Timothy, Altoona, PA coffee addict here. uh, oh, here's an interesting question. Ahmed asks, um, what do you think of the rise of social media marketing agencies? Do you think that they might be a useful asset in voiceover nowadays? Ahmed, I've got some experience in that area, and it's only with one agency. But I used an agency a few years ago. I do it myself if I had the time, but at that time it was pre-COVID, and I was just slammed continuously with work. But I hired an agency out of Atlanta, and I don't even remember the name off the top of my head. But I spent thousands of dollars to do social media marketing, and you know how much return I got on that investment? Big fat goose egg. Now, I'm not saying that it would be the same with every agency. They were a legit agency, not a cheap one. I mean, these guys, had serious street cred and experience, but maybe it's just voiceover is not a good fit for that. We use primarily LinkedIn. Again, and you can get clients on LinkedIn. Mike Cathcode, a friend of mine and one of the teachers within my voiceover blueprint, uses LinkedIn as a marketing source. But he does it himself, and he builds relationships. Kind of the old-fashioned way. I mean, on social media, but he builds them over time. Which is probably the best way to do it, and it certainly works for him and others that use his method as well. Just scanning through the feed. My goodness, so many comments this morning. Oh, Palm Springs, California. Jerry, that sounds good. Wouldn't mind being there this morning. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for being here. So, stand or sit, whatever makes you most comfortable. It always amuses me how many things pass as like God's truth when it comes to voiceover. You must do this. You mustn't drink coffee before you record voiceovers. I've been doing it for 16 years. It certainly hasn't hindered me. So just when somebody says you must or you mustn't, take it with a grain of salt. Try it out for yourself. Find out what works best for you. And I wish you guys a lot of success. Thanks for checking out the video. Make it a great day. Get out there, make something happen, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning. See you later.